Hi guys. Can I go? I never know when I can actually go because I tend to get cut off at the beginning. Hi guys, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Are you there, guys? So, quite a chapter. I feel like there's always the intro at this point, isn't it? Yeah, it's me. It's me, some guy. Hi guys, what's going on? What's going on? By a minute. Oh, rats. Yeah, like I said, I never know when I can actually start talking because I tend to get cut off at the beginning of the broadcast. Hi everybody. My hair is not playing ball today. It's because I've been wearing headphones because I've been editing the Space Globalist arc retold, guys. It's nearly done. It's nearly done. It's probably going to be a 3-hour behemoth. So my biggest piece of content yet. Hopefully get that done in the next week. More info when I can provide it on when exactly that's going to be aired. When that's going to be aired, obviously, best place to keep up with things is the Discord. Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member, guys, on my Patreon to get access to my Discord. It's the best place on the internet for Dandadan and lots of other stuff. We talk about the chapters every single week as they're released, including this one. Yeah, I mean, this was a hell of a. Thanks, Tarantado. Appreciate you. Sky, why are you so upset? Come on, look at the camera. Look at the camera. Come on. Dance, monkey, dance. Yeah, it's a big arc. Yeah, this is a big arc. I think that it obviously Momo and Okarun are pretty squarely at the center of everything that's happening right now. And yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it to go this way this week. I feel like every single week, this series just does something completely different to what I'm anticipating it to do, right? But you know, I'm not unhappy. Like I feel like a bit of a broken record at a certain point, just because I'm very happy with the kind of content that we're dealing with in this arc, just generally. It's been a minute since I felt like these two could kind of actually engage with each other in a way that kind of brings us back to a lot of that stuff. And, you know, again, like I said, trying to predict Dandadan at this point for me is just impossible. It's just impossible, you know? So, yeah, I'm just kind of rolling with it. When we first got to the beginning of the Amnesia arc, one of the things that I didn't predict, I just asked for nicely into the ether, was for this arc to take on some kind of to kind of re-explore a lot of Momo and Okarun's relationship throughout the series, because like it's been you know, I say this all the time, but a lot of Momo and Okarun's relationship happened in quite the early areas, the early chapters of Dandadan, right? Like the first, like up to the Space Globalist arc, really. After that, everything's kind of been pretty slow. It sped along really early, but then it slowed down quite a lot. And because of that, here we are at chapter 221, and we haven't had any really big progress since, I guess, the confession. But even the confession was a spur of the moment thing, right? It wasn't like a slow build up to this thing. It was just a spur of the moment thing. So I'm kind of at the point, or at least my desire was to re-explore the relationship through the amnesia, re-immersing Momo in past experiences in order to kind of bring back the memories, yes, but also to to kind of like show us the echoes of things that have happened before in their relationship, to kind of retrace it, retread it as we move towards the conclusion of the back and forth, right? Like so that they could actually be an item by the end of it. And every single, and something that I fucking loved is every single chapter since then, there has been something in there that reminded me or has had that kind of echo of something that's already happened before. And this one is no different, right? Like when Okurun runs away, right? That is exactly the same thing that he did when he revealed his feelings in front of Vamola during the Space Globalist arc. I think it's more to do with his feelings spilling out of him, without any control, without even necessarily the right words, the know-how, who he's saying it to in the original instance, right? So, yeah, we all read chapter 221. You know. Yeah, no, Tuma, see, this is kind of where I'm at as well. Is that ultimately, I'm proud of the fact that Okurun stepped up, and he said that he wanted to go on a date with her. He said that last week. There's no taking that away from him. It shows that he is willing to push. He's trying to push, right? But if she didn't respond well to it, he's not the kind of guy who's just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. So he backed off a little. And I do think that he's right in saying, that on some level, he was putting his own wants and desires first. He wants to get back to the point where they were at. He just had it, right? He had confessed how he felt after so long, and she had responded well to it. He had got everything that he had been looking for, everything that he had wanted to get from her, to receive back from her after so long, and that was snatched away, right? Snatched away from him. And no wonder he's impatient and wanting to rush back to that. But ultimately, it's not about that, right? He needs to take his, he needs to take the time to do it right, or you'll never get there, you know? And Vamola, Vamola, I love Vamola. Absolutely adore Vamola. She is my girl. She is, like, amazing. I fucking love Vamola so much. So good. Look, little Sky. Oh, look, Sky. You say hi? There you go. But, yes, in Vamola we trust. Hi there, Cube. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. But him running is the connective tissue in this scene. And we'll explore that as we go through the chapter. Alright, so those of you who have not done this before, who haven't joined the streams before, number one, hi. It's nice to have you here. Even though some of you are lurking. In fact, you know what, we'll collect. You know what, we'll do the midway through we'll do the chapter review. I assume that people are a little less hot on this, and I get that. That's totally fine. I mean, it's definitely different, but ultimately, you know, his ability to kind of back away from it, I do think that maybe, like, I think that being aware enough that it wasn't working or she wasn't responding well to it and changing course was the right move, right? Like generally speaking, that's Momo, right? She's not going to respond to someone trying to force her into a situation. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not saying it was just a joke, but I mean, it's a tough situation, man. Like, he's in a tough spot. His advance got completely rejected. I mean, it's hard to think of the perfect way. It's hard to think of the perfect way to rectify, to save that situation, right? From his perspective, what would you have done in the spur of the moment? Saying it's a joke is, like, pretty tough going. But yeah, he's a teenager. It's not an easy thing to save. Like, it's embarrassing. And he did kind of like, went all in on it, right? Yeah. He was in a pickle. Oh, sorry, Sky. Yeah, he was in a pickle for sure. But yeah, you kind of been backed into a corner. All right. Go on, sit down. Go back into your bed. Yeah. Yeah, no, you got to also realize that this is it's only been a small period of time that she's had her memories wiped and he's been talking to her. This is hard. You know, this is not an easy thing to do. What is it? What are you doing? You're sitting there. For fuck's sake. Alright, okay, just sit down. Sorry, the cat's on my lap. But anyway, right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the chapter. We're going to go through the chapter, and midway through, I'll throw up the poll on what stars you would give this, guys. And we'll just use it as kind of a loose ability, like a loose framework to chat about where we're at in the series, what we want from the series, that kind of stuff. So, it begins as a continuation from last week, where Okurun, obviously, famously, asked Momo to go on a date with him, and she's still refusing to do it. She says there's no way that she's going to go on a date with him. And he's obviously taken aback by it. I mean, they're arguing. That is what this is. It's a full-blown argument, right? It's not... I mean, it's that bickering, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that... Like the thing with Momo, I suppose, and always has been the case with Momo, it's always been a defining element of Momo's character, is that she has these walls up, these barriers up. She's quite cagey about this kind of stuff, just because she's had to hide away lots about her like true person, her true personality, her true wants, desires, all of this stuff. So she's got these defense mechanisms, and I don't know that she's necessarily open. She's definitely opening up to Okurun, but the way that they fell in love the first time was... It was not so forced, I suppose. Like, he wasn't trying to rinse that out of her, right? And she, over time, started to see the value of him. Started to see these traits in him. These traits that he... But it developed over a long period of time for them, right? And she came to a lot of these realizations herself. The difference is this time is that Okurun wants to be proactive. Respect it. I do respect it. I think that it's a great and important change for Okurun as a character. Maybe. I mean, I'm not... No, because Momo wants... Momo... The previous Momo that we saw in Dandadan throughout the series, right? That version of Momo wanted Okurun, has wanted Okurun to step up, to make the decisions, to prove to her that he likes her, because she isn't all ready to go out on a limb and just tell him that she likes him, because that fear of rejection, that fear of being dejected is so strong for Momo. It's one of her main fears, right? So she's always wanted him to take that initiative to show her that he likes her. And I think that him taking the time to give her that this time around, where he had previously not done a very good job of that up until these big moments, right? In smaller ways, in quieter ways, right? That I think is something that she would want, and it's something that he knows is the right thing to do. And that's important. So when he said, like, 10 chapters ago now, something like that he didn't want her to be the one to give him the space, to make space in her life for him, he wanted to pursue her in the way that she had always wanted him to pursue her. It's not just... He's not just giving that to this version of Momo, right? It's not just about going through the motions again for him. It's not just about doing it all again the same way. It's more than that. He needs to prove to himself, and he needs to, in a slightly more holistic way, he needs to give her what she wanted from him, what she needed from him, to fully round out not just his character, but their relationship. Their relationship can't be built on her waiting for him to do to do what it is that she wants him to do, and then failing to do it up until these big moments, right? Like the handhold, that was her, you know, and the hug, that was her. All of these really big moments. I think for Okurun, it needs to be about having what it takes to do that. So I like the proactivity. I like that he's going for it, you know? But ultimately, that doesn't mean that she doesn't want to be involved in the conversation, right? I don't know what the cause of the amnesia is, but I know that on some level, her memories coming back and her relationship with Okurun are definitely linked. Everything in Dandadan, the physical, the emotional, all of the plot points are linked to that emotional element, to the interactions between the characters, right? Like Momo and Okurun defeating Turbo Granny. The real inflection point of that fight was when they learned to trust each other fully. Really nicely demonstrated in the anime, more so than the manga. And then, in the Serpo arc, obviously, the biggest point between them was reforging that trust that had been broken when she saw Okurun outside in the courtyard with Aida. And it was at that point, that's the inflection point, where they learned to trust each other again. And that trust coalesced, converted into actual physical success in battle, right? Her trusting him in the fight to do... To have her back, and he did, and he saved her. All of these things are always linked, and it's the same thing with the memory loss. I think it has to be linked to the characters, or else what's the point? But anyway, so the point is that maybe he overstepped. Again, that doesn't mean that him doing it, that doesn't mean that him saying it, asking her on this date, I don't think that was a problem necessarily. I think it was a good thing that he did it. The only problem is that it wasn't well received. What is it? What do you want? What's the matter? Oh, come on then. Oh, come on then. Yeah, I don't know what you want. Come on. In here. Anyway. So after she says that there's no way to that she's going to go on a date with him, she says, "Are you the kind of person who forces someone to do what they don't want to do? That's the worst." Ultimately, that's not what Momo's about, you know? I know. It's a lot of stress, isn't it? Hey, being on camera. And that's true. I mean, that is just who she is, right? Like she's never really been the kind of person to want to be forced into something, nor to force other people into stuff, really. And he backpedals, maybe not in the best way, like we said earlier, but ultimately, guy's not experienced with this kind of thing. He's going through emotional turmoil. He's going through it. My boy's going through it, right? He's going through it right now. What are you doing? He's going through it. And yeah, it's not an easy thing to circumvent, right? Like, these kind of feelings are not an easy thing to circumvent. So he relies on the idea of it being a joke. Yeah, I know. I feel bad for him. I really feel bad for him because he's in quite a spot. And then he says that he's leaving, right? I don't know. This bickering is so characteristically them, isn't it? On some level, it is characteristically them, and it's been a minute, I think, since we've seen this. So it is nice. And look, you know, the date thing. For the record, guys, the date thing. I know that a few people are disappointed about the date not happening. I get that. It's been breathed out into the world now, right? I don't see it not happening at all in the long run. I think that when we get to the end of this arc, or this memory loss thing, I think when we get to the end of this memory loss thing, I think Momo and Okarun are going to have to get together, right? I think that they're going to have to get to a point where they advance the relationship beyond whatever this back and forth is, because it's been this for a long time now. I think that the date will still happen at some point. I think it's important that something like that happens, because, like, what was the last real, like, what was, god damn, what was the last, what was the last real moment that these two had where they were both normal and able to just kind of connect with each other? I don't remember. Like, I don't remember what the last one is. It's been a long time. I think that... No, he's not going to die. He's not going to die. It's not that kind of thing. Yeah, it's just not right now. It's been put out there now, though. It's out there in the world. There's not really, in my opinion, there's not really a way to you know, put the genie back into the bottle with this one. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's out there now. There needs to be, yeah, way back, yeah, Damara arc, right? So, my point is that once this is sorted out, and it will get sorted out eventually, I think the end of this arc has to end with Momo and Okarun, advancing their relationship to the next level. And I think that means being slightly more official with each other, right? And I think that after that, that's when you'll see this date. Because after that, because it's been so long since they've had just a moment that's just pure bliss, I think we need a chapter of just bliss, of just everything being fine, and them just connecting together, and both of them wanting to connect together and just feeling it. I think that is abso-fucking-lutely going to be something that's going to happen, right? Like that is going to be it. There needs to be that catharsis, that payoff for all of the stress that we've had to endure, that they've had to endure. Everything they've done has been pulled. They've been being pulled away from each other the whole time, and now we're at a point where here they are. They finally have that opportunity to communicate with each other, and she's lost her memories. Like, everything is just constantly dragging them apart. So when they eventually are back together again, there needs to be a moment. Just a moment where they can connect. And I think a date chapter would work there really, really nicely. And I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, Blissmas Miracle. You know? Yeah, no, and that's it as well. Bagley, we're going to be getting to that. We're going to be getting to that soon. I actually am really engaged with the way that the conversation went with all the friends and stuff. I'm really engaged with that. But yeah, no, I mean, he said this to Momo, the date thing to Momo. Look, the only other person in the world that has even heard him breathe those words is Vamola, right? And now this is what's important here as well. And I fucking love this whole thing, this whole sequence. In fact, let me just grab a reference. Let me just grab a reference chapter so that I can show you what I mean. Is this the right one? Is this the right one? I think it's chapter 80. Yes, right. So, right. What's really important here is the only other person that he's ever spoken these words to, that he loves Momo, besides Momo, and I suppose Rokuro Serpo, Bega, and Turbo Granny were there when he confessed. But the only other instance where he has done that and just said how he feels was exactly here, a long time ago, right? And a lot of these, and this is what I mean when I'm talking about like this arc is fantastic for seeing those shades of things that have happened, the shadow of events that have already occurred and how they echo to now. Here, there is this exact same angle, right? Like the exact same fucking camera angle, and it's a see you tomorrow. To Vamola, specifically to Vamola, is this see you tomorrow. And this is the same kind of situation where he has these feelings and he can't contain them. He doesn't know what to do with them, right? Yes, the ghost of Blissmas past. Meta, yes. I like that. I like that a lot. But he has these feelings. They're at a boiling point. He's impatient. He doesn't know how to keep them inside. And here Vamola is, this other thing that's clogging the works between him and Momo, that's pushing them apart. And he confesses how he feels because he can't keep it inside anymore. And then after he says it, he runs because it's so much. It's too much. You know, it's saying everything in his heart, and it's exhausting. It's overwhelming. And it's the exact same situation here, right? Like, it's so fucking good, though. Like, I love this shit because it shows me that genuinely that Tatsu really cares about his past work. He cares about his story and his characters, and he also cares enough about what this arc is to kind of go back through the motions. No, I know that Momo doesn't know that he told Vamola that, and I don't even know if Vamola remembers, right? I don't even know if Vamola remembers that he said that, because she didn't understand what he was saying back then. And yeah, it's also the reverse. No, yeah, Jakku. I like that. I like that Jakku, because it's in a way, it's there's this almost chirality to it, right? Like, they're the same thing but opposed. That on one hand, he is running here because the catharsis in his soul is this ability to kind of say, I actually did it. I actually said it out loud. I can do it. It's not impossible. He can say the words. They're out there. They exist now. They're not just in him. Inside of his heart, he's able to actually say them, right? And here it is, kind of the opposing side of that, which is he said it, but at the wrong time, right? Saying it to her kind of had the inverse effect in a lot of ways. It kind of set him back a little bit. And in that same vein, she's turned around, right? The flip side of her. What are you doing, Sky? Come on. Yeah, it's like the flip side of it. I really like that. I feel like they there's a consistency to it. What is the matter? What is the matter, Sky? You're really getting on. What is it? All right, come on then. Let's let you out. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, no, the hanky panky thing was pretty shit of her to say. Yeah, she wants them to date. Sky is very impatient. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think for me the parallels are more about I think that the parallels are more about that kind of like going back through the motions of things and kind of revisiting a lot of the core elements of the relationship. More so because obviously Momo's lost her memories, and there's an almost a kind of like a feeling almost of it being close enough to kind of see, close enough to make out the shadows of it, but not knowing exactly where you've seen it before. A deja vu of sense, right? Like, if you were reading this and you weren't absolutely obsessed with Dandadan, it would trigger something in your mind, right? To kind of make you go, oh, I feel like I've seen this before. But you can't exactly place when or where it was. That is, in essence, kind of like how Momo's approaching a lot of events in this chapter. About, like, it's almost amnesiac, right? In a sense. And I think that is like the really interesting part. Like this, if you saw this and you weren't obsessed with Dandadan, like presumably you are, it's okay, I am as well. You wouldn't know where to place it, you know? You would just go, that looks really familiar, without knowing exactly what that means. And I think that's part of the design. I think that's part of the design of this arc. And And to me, what this screams is that very soon, guys, very soon, we are going to get more of what we've already seen. Namely, I think holding hands. And the fact that later on they're wearing scarves, by the way, the fact that they're wearing scarves later on means that it's cold out. And that's Momo's excuse for holding his hand way back when, right? Is that it's because it's cold out. So I can see that same excuse being used for a very similar interaction, perhaps on their little group date at some point. I don't know. It's tricky because obviously their relationship is primarily away from everybody, right? Anyway, after Okurun leaves, hi there, Dan the man. After Okurun leaves, Momo's pissed off, right? She's a part of it is performative, I think. And Vamola is just like, she's like, what's going on? What the fuck is happening? And Okurun's walking home, and he's beating himself up. You know, he's beating himself up about the fact that he's doing it wrong, that he's going about it the wrong way. It did look desperate, I suppose, from like the fact that he's able to acknowledge the fact that this is not something that Momo would really want. She doesn't want to be forced into stuff, right? She's not the kind of person that likes that kind of thing. While she wants him to be proactive, that doesn't mean that he comes across as desperate. And I think here, the fact that he's able to acknowledge his own behavior and kind of not police it exactly, but moderate it and critique it, I think is really fucking important to Okurun as a character. Hi, Nachan. What's good? Yeah, we'll talk. Don't worry, we'll talk about the group stuff very soon. Anyway, yeah, he looked very overly impatient, and it did come across as though he was trying to force her into it from her perspective. Look, at the end of the day, we've seen it, guys. We've seen everything so far. She ain't seen shit. She met this guy like a day ago. She doesn't remember him, and now here he is doing all of this. It's a lot to take in, and she is at her most uncomfortable part in like time for her. Like, imagine if Okurun on chapter 5, right? If Okurun in not chapter 5, episode 5, just after the whole Turbo Granny fight, the stuff at school, if he had just asked her on a date, stared into her eyes and asked her for a date, I don't think she would have responded well to it. I just don't believe it. And that is this version of Momo. That's the same person. You transport her brain back in time to chapter 5, and that is her. And arguably, you know what? Arguably, she isn't even fully there yet. She isn't even fully at episode 5. He did no. I think that I think the fact that he was willing to do it, willing to put himself out there in that capacity, I think shows bravery. It shows resolve, and it shows that he is learning. It shows that he's learning. I don't think that's a bad thing, right? But you know, with that comes understanding what works and what doesn't, and I think he's understanding what didn't work here. I think that this Momo here that we're looking at here is kind of more similar to where we would have seen her in episode 5, just purely because they've obviously been through the whole first encounter thing. But you would also make the argument that she hasn't really... Yeah, no, I'd say around... That's kind of like the same kind of level that we're talking about, right? Regardless, Momo, all the way up to the Evil Eye arc, would not have said yes to just going on a date with Okurun. It's just not in her nature, I don't think, to just do that. It's a big thing. And Okurun here, another fucking awesome thing about this guy, another fucking amazing thing about my boy here, is that he he doesn't just moderate his behavior, he empathizes with hers, right? He sits there, he stands there while he's running, while he's starting to understand exactly what it is that he didn't do. He understands her position, her viewpoint, which is that she doesn't really know him that well. And he can't force his feelings on her. He can't push her to remember. She needs to choose to do it. She needs to accept and choose to remember. And that's the same with falling in love with him. You can't force her to do it. That's not how she fell in love with him the first time, right? It was a choice. It was this overwhelming thing that just snuck up on her. You know? No, I think Momo is she's going to fall in love with him again. She needs to fall in love with him again, Dan, because it shows that it wasn't just an accident the first time. It wasn't just because they were in the same position or because they had these powers. They don't need the powers. They don't need the powers. They don't need to be forced to use them for them to be compatible. It's just destiny, right? I think that's really important. Yeah, I don't disagree, Mooksy, but it's I think it's a lot of it's a big deal, I think, in well, I can't speak to Japan, but for teenagers, I think going on a date is a pretty big situation. Yeah, exactly. Now that's my point. It's not just about the fact that they just fell together, right? This shows that even if you removed one of their memories, that they would just end up together, right? You know what it is? It's like is it the eternal sunshine of a spotless mind? Yeah. The eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. That's a really pretty story, a really pretty film. And I enjoy that concept of two people who remove their memories to forget each other, ending up coming back together incidentally, because they're just when you remove all of the extra added padding around two people who are fundamentally compatible, you remove all of the mundanity or the things that made their lives slow down or made them drift apart, that they get back to the core of what it is that who they are, and they come back together. In that same way, Momo and Okurun, you can strip away all of everything that happened. It doesn't mean that it wouldn't happen again. And that's what this arc is about for me. That's what this is about for me. It means that they aren't just accidentally together, aren't pushed together by circumstance, by aliens, by ghosts. It's that they are just fucking compatible, you know? Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think that he necessarily... I just don't think she's ready to do that. I just don't think Momo is ready to do that necessarily. And I agree with you, for the record, I don't think that trying to kind of trick her into it was a good idea for him. It comes across as a little bit... On one hand, right, for us, it's like, yeah, he's done it, he's got the balls to say it, and that's a great trait. But for her, it looks like she's been tricked or forced into something. It was just, I think it was the right call for him to back down when she responded poorly to it. But I do feel like, obviously, I understand that some people feel like they kind of got bait and switched a little bit, which is fair enough. I mean, I don't fully disagree, but I mean, I suppose that's the nature of these kind of weekly releases, right? You know? Well, I don't know if it was necessarily her popularity that just got in the way. It was definitely part of it in episode 5. But I think that Momo is a very closed off person, at least until you get through that first proper barrier, right? Those great filters. Oh, 1 second, guys. My door just went. I'll be 1 second. I'm back. Well, you don't like the chair stream? Sky's in charge now. Oh, look, we've got comedians in the chat. We've got comedians in the chat. Yeah. Alright, I think we're all on the same page here. I think there are some vague disagreements, some minor disagreements, but you know what, guys? You know what? I'm really happy that we have some degree of discourse back and forth, rather than just everybody going like, yeah, I agree. You know? Like, I think that's great, because I don't want us to fall into the trap, right? I don't want us to fall into the trap here of just exclusively saying, oh yeah, everything's like sick all the time. Of everything's just like amazing and sick all the time. Like, I like the idea that we can kind of like have a little bit of disparity in opinion, as long as it's all within reason. Yeah, exactly. I think we're all kind of on the same train, but maybe different carriages of it, guys. You know? You know. Yeah, I think that this arc is going to be the one. That at the end, I think they need to settle into something more than just what it's always been. And I'm really excited for that. And I'm really keen on the way. I'm just generally happy with the way that we've been retreading previous stuff, right? Like him running, like all of the other things that we've seen at school. All of these things, I think it's just like this arc is in a way a bit indulgent. It's quite indulgent with its own story, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think that it is indulging in Dandadan as a story up until now. And I think that is quite a wonderful place to be at. Because I feel like hi guys, hi Blissy. I feel like it's not self-indulgent to the point where it feels like too much, right? It is examining itself. It is examining the legacy of its own story up until now. In the same breath, in its primary way of doing that, is by honing in on the core element of what is Dandadan, which is Momo and Okurun, and their relationship up until now. And I think that is a really exciting place for it to be in, because there's a self-awareness to it, at least in the way that it presents itself to us, in the way that the art presents itself to us, in the way that the themes or the iconography, all of these different elements, the way that it shows itself to us, presents itself to us. I think that is it contending with itself, asking its own question about whether these two should be together here at the end. I think that we all know that the answer is a resounding yes, right? But I think this is the one. I think by the end of this, the illusions are going to be cast aside. And she looks back, right? As he runs, she turns back. And the thoughts are like her thoughts are lingering on him still, right? Like when she walks inside, and I love that the way that we can kind of see this with the chat boxes, right? So obviously she's pissed off because she's flustered, she's overwhelmed emotionally by the fact that he just did that, and she's pissed, like what's up with him? And then it changes from that into a kind of more pensive, lingering kind of self-inquisitive kind of like what is his deal for real? Like what she wants to know, I think, is not why is he, at first, you know what it is? At first it's like a why is he obsessed with me, right? And then it becomes like why is he? Like what is the reason? Why is he so persistent, right? And I don't think that just asking that question in two different ways, I think, is so important, because I think she doesn't fully know, right? She doesn't know. She doesn't see what it is. Like, think about it, right? For just a second, right? Think about it. What occurred in the last fight? He's a fucking cool dude. He's a cool dude. He's got Ida, who is interested in him, right? Who everybody considers to be Miss Perfect. She's sought after. She's for all intents and purposes, considered to be a 10 out of 10 kind of girl, right? She's interested in him, and he rejects that for her. In that fight, he was incredible. He was ferocious. He was fierce. She was not, really. She helped, but she wasn't like this incredible person in the fight. He did that for her. His injury, right? He got hurt, and he just kind of shrugged it off, and he did that for her. So from her perspective, she's done nothing special, right? She's done nothing special. So what is it? Why? What is he doing any of this for? Why? What's his deal? And I don't think that's a bad question to ask at this point. No, I appreciate that that Momo showed off her intellect, that there are a lot of excellent traits about Momo, but for her, these are the questions that likely are bouncing around in her mind, not in mine. She has done everything in her life to kind of hide away these things that maybe make her special. So somebody is able to peel back those layers and see her for what she is, even though she doesn't know what she's capable of. Now remember, she locked away her powers. She locked away her powers at the beginning of the series behind this huge wall, this huge thick wall of this person, this projected persona to the world. And when she accepted that, she was able to unlock her powers, right? First time saying 10 out of 10. Shut the fuck up. Don't start spreading that shit around. Yeah, no. But she hasn't had that revelation. So I think that she's intrigued. Who wouldn't be? Right? And I think that she's, again, just anxious. She's an anxious person. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. We'll talk about the Gigi and Ira thing in just a second, guys. We're getting through it. Hold on, guys. But yeah. I mean, I think that the name is probably going to do something. I don't know if it will address it completely, but I do think that the fact that they sorry, 1 second. Still got a fucking cough, guys. Don't know what the hell. What the helly? The fact that they're actually talking about it, that she brought up the date thing in front of Gigi and Ida, is a pretty fucking huge step, right? Like, there's no denying at this point that there is some discussion to be had. And this is another thing, like I said earlier, guys, you can't recork it, you know? The genie's out of the bottle and it can't be put back in. Now it's been said, I don't see there being any way of pretending that it wasn't said. Yeah, I mean, you say that about Ida, but also I think that it's the same with Gigi, right? Like, it's the same with Gigi. Everybody's got these. We'll talk about it in a second, right? Okarun goes to visit Manjiro, and he brings up the Ogre Club, and it's crazy because he's all like, "Oh shit, yeah, that all those chores, all that rubbing and scrubbing of your house, that I get it now. It was all in service to the Ogre Club, right?" And then he fucking turns it into a lightsaber, and Manjiro's like, "What the fuck? I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. How are you doing that shit, dude?" And it's like, okay, I guess, like, what the fuck? And then he's just like, it doesn't work for him, and he's like, "Well, I can't fucking do it. I was just trying to get you to do my goddamn chores, bro." Which is crazy, by the way. knowing full well that shit's like intense right now. He's just like, I was just trying to get you to clean my fucking house. We hadn't even started the training, so I don't even know. He's already exceeded him. So there is no more training. There is no more training to be had because he's exceeded him. You know? It's crazy. Manjiro's a fucking wild guy. He's too busy being a bootuber. Can you imagine such things? Anyway, but yeah, so Manjiro says that he got it from Seiko as a protective talisman in the first place, and yeah, he's amazed that he's able to do it. I suppose the question is, why, right? Like, why was he able to use it? I suppose you could make the argument that it only... Well, I don't know if it only activates with Okarun. I think it's a protective talisman. I think that something that activates with it or activates your connection with it maybe is using it in a situation when you have something to protect, right? And then you're able to actually access it, or if you form a bond or connection with it in some capacity. Like, he wasn't able to get it to work until he was in a situation where he and Momo were in danger. And worth acknowledging, guys, he didn't get it out and then try to use it in the situation. It lit up in his pocket first. It called out to him to use it, and it's a protective talisman. So I think that the talisman only responds initially to the user by putting them in a situation where they need its power to protect something or someone that they care about. And I think that might be the case, because again, it lit up before he was even using it, you know? So I don't know. Maybe it responded to something yokai related. That's a good point as well, Meadowly. It could be related to the yokai abilities that they had. Because if that's the case, that means that Ida and Gigi would be able to use it, and they didn't get a chance to get their hands on it later, rather. So I don't know. We'll find out, right? But anyway, Manjiro is, again, really surprised that he was able to use it at all. And then Okurun's like, yo, so what the hell about all this cleaning stuff then? He's like, nah, it's just get you to clean my house. Just get you to clean my fucking house. Like, I just didn't want to do it myself. It's like, we haven't even done it. I've just been busy. He's a fucking, like, what the fuck, by the way? That's crazy. That's crazy behavior. That is absolutely absurd behavior. Absolutely absurd behavior. And now everybody's got their winter uniforms on, which is really cute. Like, Ida's got a little scarf, and so does Momo. I think that, like... yeah, maybe. I suppose that's an interesting way of looking at it, Tiberius. I think that, maybe only those who have been cursed. I mean, there are two ways to look at it, as far as I'm concerned. Either it's only people who have had curses, who have had curses or have curses, or it's just because it activated because he needed it in the instance, right? And he formed a bond with it that way. I don't know. But something worth noting as well, obviously, and, you know, we were talking about this earlier in the Discord. I think Nachan brought it up. Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member, guys, on my Patreon to get access to the Discord. That's for free. There's a free member. It's the best place on the internet for Dandadan. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we have really good chats there every single week, and every time in between those weeks about Dandadan, about lots of other stuff, you know? With Season 3 being released in 2027, it's a great place for coping together, guys. You know? And while we're at it, you know what? Let's just go ahead and start a poll. Now, I know it only goes up to 4. Alright? We can't go any higher than 4. Alright? That is actually a really good point. Sarah, does he just live in Kamigoi now? He must do. He must do. He must have just moved. Although I thought he was looking after the underwear, right? Fuck knows. I hope he didn't take the whole train trip there. That'd be crazy. You know? Yeah, no, we have a little bit of copium there, but for the most part, guys, we huff the hopium over there. You know, it's our best way to survive. You know, and it makes us. I think it helps us enjoy stuff more. You know, eighth wonder of the world. That's very kind of you, Cube. But anyway, like I was saying over on the Discord, I think it was Natchan that maybe brought it up. It's cold out, and that was the excuse that Momo used initially for holding Okurun's hand. So, you know, the fact that we're at a winter point, it could very well be that that is something that comes back in some capacity, especially because we've obviously seen the echoes of things that have already happened. Even this chapter, we've seen that. So, oh look, there she is. Hi, Natchan. Yes, exactly. But anyway, so he shows up, Okurun shows up, and he sees Gigi and Ida and calls out to them. And he starts telling them about the fact that he was attacked by the Serpos near Gigi's house. Must have just been a very small empty space because Gigi wasn't aware of it. But anyway, he talks about the protective charm that he got from Seiko, and he, because they have no powers, it's a miracle that they got out of it okay. And he asks Ida to stick close to Momo as much as possible. Which is interesting. That could lead to some pretty interesting situations between the two of them. You know, I like Momo and Ida whenever they get a little bit of time together. Going through the Space Globalist arc recently, as I've been working on the Space Globalist arc Retold. Hopefully going to get that done this week, guys. Yeah, as I was going through that, one of the things that I really appreciated in that is when they were kind of having a bit of time to... Now, there's a point where they're about to go into the underground training facility, and Ida just asks Momo to be careful. I like it when they get a little bit of time to interact with each other. So I kind of hope that this leads to maybe, you know, a little bit of time for them to chat or to spend time together in some capacity. But I don't know. We'll see. However, Vamola, her kaiju suit is pretty much fucked at the moment. And yeah, so she can't really use it. So she's just here for the vibes right now, right? And Momo was able to perceive the aliens in empty space, which does imply, I suppose, to some degree that there's something, that her spiritual powers are still there. I guess that, and then anyway, Okurun is pretty dejected by the way that he responds by saying that her memory has not come back, but she does seem to trust them enough to believe them, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, no, exactly, Mooksy. I mean, you know, that would be cool. Or at least they maybe could look. A lot of Momo and Ida's back and forth about Okurun has kind of helped to reaffirm both of their resolve in regards to their interest with him, for him, in him. So you could see a little bit more of that as well, right? Also, Ida's Acro Silky form is badass. Like, it's so cool. One of the things that I really liked about the Kaiju arc in the anime, actually, is how much absolute aura farming, Ida farming, was done in her Acro Silky form. Like, she absolutely fucking killed it. It was amazing. But anyway, he tries to give them the Yoga Club to try it out, which to me implies that there must be something that they can do with it because we got it cut short. And then Vamola and Momo show up. And this is where things get really fucking interesting. Ida farming. Yeah, I know. There you go, guys. Fucking... If Janny were here, I'd ask her to note that down. But somebody note that down so Janny can note down Ida farming later. Anyway, yeah, so they show up. This is where the chapter gets really interesting, because this is new. This is some new stuff, right? This is some very new stuff. Momo and Okurun catch a look at each other, and she is obviously pissed, right? Momo is pissed. And then Ida gets pissed because she's given her attitude. I fucking love the art in this series, by the way. I love the art. Yeah, who writes notes for the note writer? I love this. This art is just like absolutely absurd. It's great. I love how it goes from like really nicely detailed, really kind of realistic proportions to this absolute nightmare down here. It's so fucking good. Yeah, no, there's a lot to unpack here. But Momo says that she doesn't want to look in his direction. Oh my god, dude. It's like this kind of thing never happens. This kind of thing never happens in front of everybody, right? So this is uncharted territory right here. This stuff never happens in front of other people. So the fact that we're in a position right now where it's just fucking happening, they're just talking about this shit in front of everybody else, is crazy to me, because it just doesn't, this has never happened before. Anyway, Gigi rolls on up and he's all like, yo, what's going on, by the way? You know? Is that what it is? It does feel like that is what it is, though, to be fair. But anyway, Gigi's like, yo, what the fuck, by the way? What's going on? It's like, did something happen? And it's, oh my god, this is like crazy. This is crazy. This is a level of tension. This is a level of group tension that has never been a thing for this reason, you know? Oh, yeah. Dave, Santiago. David. I don't know which one. There are like 5 names in there, so I'm just going to go with David. I definitely think that they're vampires for sure. Yeah, I know, Mark. It's fucking wild that it was just in front of everybody, right? That's crazy. It's never happened. He's all like, he's like, I don't know what's going on. Okurun's like, I don't know what's going on, but things seem a little bit tense just now, don't they? Right? And then she pulls her fucking hair. And she's like, what, like, oh my god. It's crazy. No. It's fucking nutty. She's just like, she calls him a bastard, number one. And then he's like, oh boy, this is crazy that she's talking so much shit to me. Anyway, moving on. And then Gigi's like, what the fuck's going on? And then she just says it out loud that he asked her out on a date because he won the staring contest. And it's, oh my lord, by the way. Oh my god. Ain't no way, dude. What the fuck? That's crazy. You ever seen something like that? Everybody, this is like the penny drops kind of situation. Like, what the fuck? This is like the penny dropped. I can't believe it. Yeah, no, Mark, totally. I'm loving this chapter as well. Absolutely adore this chapter. This arc. I think that it's covering a lot of ground. I feel like it's covering a lot of ground. And also, thanks for joining the stream, despite the fact that you've only just recently caught up with the manga. Obviously, you are welcome here. We stream every Monday at the same time as this stream began. It is one of my highlights of the week. Also, there's a Discord, Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member. That's free. Free is always good to get access to my Discord. It's just on my Patreon link. It's the best place on the internet for Dandadan. And if you're interested in that, then that's the place to be. But anyway, yeah, no, they just fucking comes out and says it, and it's like, I don't have words for this. This is like, I never thought we'd get to just this. Like last week, I never thought we'd be here in a week's time. Anyway, everyone's freaking out, right? This is a lot for everybody, because there are. But I think what's really cool here is that it showcases, and this is what I meant No worries, Mark. Thanks for the interest anyway. If you're not interested in that kind of thing, I'm always going to be here anyway. So enjoy. Anyway, the what's really interesting here is like what I was saying earlier about re-examining Momo and Okurun's relationship through the lens that is being investigated through. I think lends a certain kind of like insight or not insight necessarily, but a visitation, I suppose, an analysis or a statement on the relationship between Momo and Okurun, and that also conflates itself with the entirety of Dandadan up until now, right? The way that the series has progressed, what's coming next, and where we've been, where we're going, where we are, all of these things all tied up at once, in the same way that this is the exact same thing to me, right? Like, this is a really interesting way of re-examining and bringing back to the forefront all of the relationship dynamics that are going on all at once, right? Like, you've got a lot to unpack here, and I think that this arc, in a lot of ways, is really bringing these character dynamics that have been bubbling away for a very, very long time and never really been properly addressed, or at least not been addressed for a very long time, like 100 chapters. I think that it's a way of bringing them back to the forefront of the series and being like, right, I think it's time to discuss some of this stuff, to contend with some of this stuff. And that feels like what's happening here. We're seeing all these relationship dynamics on display in a way we haven't seen before. And I think that's really interesting. They've never just said it in front of people. It's crazy that it's just there. I was taken aback reading this. I was like, oh gosh. Oh golly, oh gosh. Anyway, Gigi's shocked at the notion of a date, and so is Ida, because obviously Gigi is interested in Momo, and Ida is very interested in Okurun. And he is going back to insisting that it was a joke. He's obviously incredibly embarrassed. And, yeah, he's so ridiculous. Looking for Mola, the poor bastard. Why is crazy. That is crazy next level stuff. But I think that there is, like, what's even wilder is that she's all like, how fucking dare you take that kind of interest in me? But then he's like, I'm not interested in you like that. And then she's like, how fucking dare you not be? Like it's so fucking, it's ridiculous. And then yeah, she said that he came at her all thirsty for real. That's crazy. And looked her in the eye desperately, calls him a dummy. This is just fucking classic them, isn't it? This is just Momo and Okurun to a fucking T at a certain point. This back and forth bickering is absolutely it's just, they've never done it in front of people. Like, I've never seen this shit happen in front of other human beings before. It fills me with an anxiety. This feels closer to like a soap. You know, this feels closer to a drama now, right? But yeah, no. This is like, what's even crazier, what is even fucking wilder here is that she's like, you look me in the eye, and then he's like, you're the one who started that competition, so it's kind of on you. It's kind of on you to take responsibility for that. And that is even more shit. That is even more shit that these people did not know about, right? Like, Ida's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? You joke about going on dates, and then Gigi's like, you fucking have staring contests with each other. Please teach me how to do that too. Oh man, no. You know what? It is a bit like the clashing teeth incident. You're quite right. That's a good point, Jakku. That is kind of like, this is kind of the clashing teeth incident a little bit. The way that they kind of like bite back at each other is quite similar to that. You know what I mean? Going through those same kind of thematic motions. This is iconic, by the way. Everybody hitting the same realization panel is crazy. It's absolutely fucking incredible. I don't know, man. I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. Yeah, they're getting a peek at... Yeah, no, that is it, though, Danny. No, that is what it is, though, isn't it? Like, this is like, they're seeing it. They got a peek at what's been going on the whole time. None of these people know what has been going on the whole time. You know? It's crazy. Yeah. Like, obviously there is the whole group dynamic is laid bare here, right? What's often been, in fact always been, purely subtextual has now become just the front loaded like overt text, right? It's being said out loud. It's that is it. No, yeah, this is like nostalgic at this point, which is crazy, right? Yeah, I mean, this arc is absolutely absurd. It's absurdly good. And then fucking Vamola hits out with her. Let's just go on a date together. It's so fucking good. Look at this cute shit. Look at this though. Look at them. I want that on a t-shirt. I want that on a fucking shirt, man. Honestly. Look at it. What is this, by the way? Gigi's fucking stomping up and down, by the way. This is amazing. It's so good. Yeah, I know. Vamola absolutely saves the day there. I love Vamola. I fucking love Vamola. I think she's the best. Honestly. She's done everything right recently, I feel. Yeah. But I guess a group date is on the cards. Again, all of this, it's not it's not a to me, it's not a something that goes like we said earlier. You can't put the genie back in the bottle about this. This is not something that just disappears forever. I think that it has to be in the discussion going forward. The fact that it's been brought to the forefront means that it's going to have to be contended with eventually, you know? I don't think they've really just hung out. I imagine that they'll probably get attacked, right? I imagine they'll probably get attacked or something like that. But what I'm really hoping for is to see them kind of like, I suppose, Momo and Okarun get a little bit of time away from them during it or at the end of it. I mean, I imagine that they're going to be kind of like, look, their relationship, from my perspective, and I've talked about this in a lot of the video content, maybe all of the video content. From my perspective, Momo and Okarun's relationship has always only been able to flourish in private. Obviously. And every time that other people are involved, the whole thing has to kind of fall away. Tuck itself away, hide itself away. Because of the fact that it just is not ready to be out there with other people. So you're going to kind of like get in this next scene, this next situation that they're going to be in. It's going to be a kind of like, I feel like there's going to be this element of wanting to kind of spend time just together, but not be able to necessarily. And maybe they'll sneak a little bit of time between the two of them, which I would love. That would be really nice. But ultimately, at some point, like there are two ways that I see a date going. Three ways I see a date going, right? One, there's a fight. They go on their friend date. They hang out, which I'm down with, by the way. I'm totally down with that. with them just hanging out and having like just that, because I would fucking love that, right? After everything that's happened so far, something just a little bit indulgent like that, something a little bit kind of just like nice and sweet kind of stuff, I'm fucking here for all day every day. Like Momo working at the Maid Cafe, right? Momo working at the Maid Cafe was just sweet. That was just cute shit. There was no fight that happened during that event where Okurun went to see her. It was just a really nice kind of situation. I could see something like that happening, and I would love that. But the three ways I see it going: one, a fight happens. Two, they go and Okurun is obviously going to want to try to kind of like talk to Momo and get involved with Momo, but he'll struggle with it. Obviously he's going to struggle with it. Poor bastard. And hopefully at the end of that, they'll find some time to just kind of, for the two of them to just get a little bit of time together. And I think if the two of them do get a little bit of time just together, I think it could easily transition away from a group date and just being the two of them in some capacity. And then the third option is they obviously do the group date, it goes however, and then later in the future it turns they do an actual full-blown proper date between Momo and Okurun, but that would be a long way out. But look, I mean, dates have been kind of like a centerpiece to this arc, right? There was the Miko Muko museum date. Again, that was a kind of a group thing, right? Momo and Okurun went there with Miko and Muko, but that slowly transitioned away from being a group thing and started to become just a Momo and Okurun thing, and they kind of fucking pieced out, right? Because of the fact that they just got on really well. I can easily see that kind of thing happening again, but it'll be more difficult with Gigi and Ida, I think, right? I think it could easily turn into a bit of a competition. I don't know. I'm excited for it, whatever it is. I'm curious to see how it's going to be going. All right, cool, Dan. Thanks for joining. I look forward to seeing you next week. You have a good night as well. But anyway. A lot of stuff in this chapter so far. And you know what, as well? I really want to stick with everybody else. Just because, like, obviously, I want to see what the fuck happens next. But I like that we got to see Rin and Koki going on a little shopping trip together, just hanging out. I like that a lot. No, I like that a lot. Like, Rin has always lacked, you know, she's lacked an appeal for me. And Koki joining kind of felt like it almost stepped on her a little bit, right? Like kind of like overshadowed her. But this is a perfect pairing. That's a perfect pairing for the two of them. Because they're both kind of a little, you know, friendless, I suppose. And I think Koki maybe is... Koki... Alright, 3 stars. We got 3 stars. I think Rin... I think Rin is somebody who needs a little bit of healing still by having a friend. Because obviously her friendship with Mai ended up so badly when they were kids. I think having that opportunity to make a very close friend again is really nice. I kind of wish that they kept Koki's hair clip. I kind of wish that they had kept her hair clip from when we saw her earlier. I think there's maybe something about the big long strand down the middle that's maybe not the best, like design wise, I think, for me. Like, I don't know, I kind of like the idea that she was hiding behind her hair before, because she was completely alone, almost like a shadow, closed off, insecure. and everything. But then becoming friends with everybody else, it helped to kind of like show her face to the world, like in a literal way. But hey, you know, whatever, I'll take it. I still like Koki a lot. But yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, it's been nice seeing you, Koga. See you later. It's been it's nice to see the two of them just hanging out, right? Like this is really nice. I like this. This makes me really happy. Right? We're two of a kind. That is crazy. Good for you, man. Good for you. This is the most personality I've seen from Rin. This is the most personality that I've seen from Rin, and I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's go. All right? I'm happy with this shit. Let's do it. You know? Like, I'm super, super into that. Oh, no, I hope it doesn't. No, I think that the fact that these two know everything about vampires, the fact that these two know everything about vampires is going to be the thing that cinches this for them. They're going to know all about how to defeat them based on the fact that they're vampires and they know everything about vampires. Hi, Goobs. Nice to see you, dude. But, yeah, no, it's nice to see them getting a little bit of time and attention. I've been curious about Koki. It's nice to see Rin get a little bit of space here to kind of deepen her character and her relationship. I think that the problem was with the vampire thing up until now is that she's not really had anyone to bounce off of with that kind of stuff. So the fact that she's just basically a huge fucking like vampire literature nerd is crazy. Right? You know, I mean, I imagine that the people that they're going to face, because here they talk about the difference between thralls, pureblood vampires, and everything like that, and how thralls are weaker than purebloods or second gens, and it's sad that they're unable to defy their masters, right? So I think that what we're looking at here, the three bad guys that we're seeing here, are going to consist of one of them's a thrall, one of them's a pureblood, and one of them is a second gen. Right? Like realistically, that makes sense. The fact that they they brought it up, I feel like is going to be very relevant. I do wonder whether or not Koki's ability to control bugs or whatever, or to kind of like have dominion over people, could work in combination with Rin's powers in some capacity. I think maybe she could free the thrall in some way, or break it free of its master's power to defeat them, something like that. Which one is which? That's a good question. Middle guy, pure blood. For sure. This is the pure blood guy. Right, let me see if I can zoom in on this. Yeah, pure blood, right? You know what, guys, get fucking note this shit. Pure blood, second gen thrall. That's what I think. This guy, pure blood. One on the right, second gen. One on the left, thrall. You know, this one just gives off middle kid energy. You know what I mean? This gives in middle kid energy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Don't worry about it, Pickle. Yeah. Gen Z vamp for sure, for fucking sure. That's what I'm saying. This one is 100% the second gen. This one gives off just pure blood, kind of like ancient grandpa energy. And this guy looks a bit like a kind of like, he's just got underling vibes, you know what I mean? He's not interesting enough to be the main guy. I mean, it could be that they are both second gen. It could be that they're both second gens and this guy's the pure blood, and then maybe there are other thralls somewhere else that just show up, like lots of them or something like that. I don't know. We'll find out next week, presumably. But hey, that's pretty cool. That was a good chapter. I mean, a fucking lot happened in that chapter. That was a lot of stuff all at once, guys. By the way, people who are just lurking, whether you're treating this like just as a podcast kind of thing, or whether or not you're just watching and you don't comment. Hi, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You know, like, it's really cool to see so many concurrent viewers at any one moment, and most of those people, presumably, are just lurkers. I have a soft spot for lurkers. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, and lost the fight. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? To enthrall one of them, that'd be wild. No way, though. I think that will be great for them to use their powers together. You know? Rin and Koki having an opportunity to kind of like collaborate outside of the main group, I think is quite an interesting development. Especially when we've been getting hit after hit after hit of just the absolute fucking top shit. Cool. Let's go. Let's fucking go. It's really as simple as that. I mean, it's quite possible at the current trajectory that we're heading. That we could get something big in time for Valentine's Day. Right? Is Valentine's Day a big deal in Japan? I feel like it is. It's in Persona. Let me Google it. Women give chocolates to men. Yeah. It's just like Persona. Guys, it's just like Persona 5. The subreddit's in Civil War about it. Yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly. I'm not surprised that the subreddit's in disarray. We run a pretty tight ship over on the Discord, and guys, it's really all about the hopium. Huff that hopium and you'll be a much happier person. I am convinced that Tatsu knows exactly what he's doing. I'm convinced that he knows exactly what he's doing. April's the superior month, but I'll allow a February. But yeah, that's it, Jakku. That's it. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really buy into the Duma thing. Like I feel like we can be better than that. You know, making stuff is hard. Writing stuff is even more difficult, and writing and drawing all of it and getting it all done is absolutely ungodly levels of work. The fact of the matter is that you know, Tatsu puts a lot of work into this. Hi Okami, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. But anyway, it's a lot. And to make this stuff weekly is crazy as well. That doesn't mean that you necessarily need to you know, this doesn't mean that you need to obviously be like totally down with every single plot decision, but we're here for the ride, and week on week, it's easy to be reactionary, if that makes sense. It's easy to be reactionary week on week, but ultimately we as a community and as individuals inside of this community, we have thoughts, feelings, opinions, everything regarding the series. We have all of these different things regarding the series that we feel, and these are things that exist over a long period of time, right? These aren't reactionary thoughts that change week on week. My opinion about these two, about this relationship, about all of this stuff, it doesn't change depending on unless it's an absolutely instrumental chapter. It doesn't change week on week, right? Even if something happens that kind of feels like maybe it's like, I'm not sure where he's going with this, I don't know if that works exactly, you can say that's fine, but ultimately it's all about the long scope of things, right? If you go back, no, seriously, yeah, or this is it, no, that's exactly what I was just about to say, Blissy. If you go back to the Reddit discussions when a chapter drops and there's something that doesn't feel like it's a big deal now, but was a big deal then, like Vamola being introduced, for instance, and kissing Okurun, this kind of stuff was something that split people down the middle then as well, and you can go back and you can go read that. I just don't think that we need to be reactionary. I think reactionary thoughts, reactionary opinions are just typically not very well thought out, right? Because they change so frequently. I mean, like, we obviously talk about it here week on week, but I like to think that when we go into the discussion, and that is what this is, right? Obviously, I'm here and you guys are there, but it is a discussion. It's a back and forth. I like to think that when we go into this, we're just kind of like experiencing it together. And obviously, you react to it, but that doesn't mean that your thoughts and feelings are purely reactionary based. Because they're not, right? We like to see how certain interactions align with characters, what this could mean going forward for the characters, what this means for last chapter in the context of this one. And I like to think that as a consequence of that, we are in a much healthier spot than a lot of other communities could be as well. You know? And I think that we all come into this with this understanding, this notion that at the end of the day, it's going to be fine. You know? At the end of the day, it's going to be fine. I'm not worried about where this story goes. I know that this ends in I know that this story has a happy ending. Alright? For Momo and Okurun, it's going to get there. There's not a question. This isn't the kind of story that isn't. It feels like there are so many really good feelings at the heart of Dandadan that reactionary content, I just don't see how it serves that, if that makes sense. I'm just here for the fucking ride, guys. You know, I'm just here for the fucking ride because we're kind of in a long game here. And that doesn't mean you have to like everything. I'm not saying that you do have to like everything. In fact, if you like everything, then you kind of also have lost your ability to have an opinion about anything. You know, like it is definitely a decision to make it so that Okurun kind of backpedaled on what he said last week, for sure. But when you think about it from the perspective of the characters, it kind of makes sense, right? You know? And that doesn't mean that it's bad. We'll see how the arc shakes out. You know? I mean, it's no secret that the last arc that we went through was something that we didn't exactly fall in love with here. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Not everything's going to be a 10 out of 10 chapter, 10 out of 10 arc. But I think that's fine, you know? As long as it's not fucking diarrhea dog shit every single week, it's just kind of like, yeah, I kind of want to get through this arc. I think that's fine. Not everything's going to fucking absolutely slam, you know? But I appreciate you guys helping me. The lizard, I know, tell me about it, Jakku. I appreciate you guys helping to keep the tone, the discussion, the discourse healthy over here. And I can't, and now it's going to sound like I'm glazing, right? And I don't mean to, right? Maybe a little bit. I can't help but just express genuine gratitude to the way that you all engage with the content here as well. It makes my life so much easier. Like, right there, Goobs, like what you're saying, patience. Being a little bit patient, it really helps with this kind of stuff. And he's crafting a story that is his story, and the fact that you guys are also here helping to keep things kind of within that kind of scope from that perspective of being a little bit patient, and just kind of like enjoying each chapter for the experience of the chapter itself, rather than, oh, well, this messes with that, this messes with that. Being able to just kind of like go through it and go, okay, I'm interested, I'm intrigued, I liked it, I maybe didn't like it, that's fine. But also kind of being ready to kind of like just enjoy it. I appreciate that, so thank you, because that is really important. That's really important to me, being able to chat with you guys, because if I had to fucking bat off every negative thing, and we would get nowhere. We already get fucking nowhere, right? Like, we take so long. But now it makes my life easier, and it means that we can have this discussion on the same page, where we're all kind of we just want to talk about the chapter, you know? Yeah, just want to talk about the chapter. And all of this, like the stuff in here, even though obviously it's not a high, it's not the high that it was last week, right? That's fine. In here is some really interesting stuff. Like, this is really interesting. This is new. We've not seen something like this before, and it sets up something really interesting next. We would not have gotten this interaction. You see this interaction right here? We wouldn't have gotten that if the date had just gone through last week. Right? Like, this is just the way that this story is being told. And I appreciate you guys for letting it be told how it is. You know? And I'm excited to see what happens next. You know? And I'm glad that you guys are here with me on that. You know? Because that's what makes it. I really enjoy doing this each week. And the reason that I can enjoy doing that is because we're able to all communicate on the same page. You know? Like honestly, this year, this year has been a really enjoyable experience for me, because of the fact that I've been able to do this. I've been able to connect with lots and lots of you, and we've been able to talk about Dandadan in a very regularly scheduled streaming format. You know, we don't get like fucking hundreds of thousands of views, but we don't need it, right? Like what we have, the community that we have, I think is really strong. A really strong core community that not everybody has, you know. So I think it's really important to be grateful for that. At least I am very grateful for that, so thank you. Yeah, 9-volt battery. Love the name, by the way. That's it. Like, you don't know what's going to happen each week, and that is what tunes you into it, you know? I feel really engaged with what's happening every single week. Even the chapters that I'm not in love with, it's like, you know, we've had down periods here. Like, for me, one of the biggest highs of this entire experience for me, you know, if I'm to, maybe I'll rank them at the end of the year, but one of the biggest highs of the streams for me has been when people have, when people kind of were receptive to the hopium of Momo's amnesia, you know, like when we were talking about that, people changing their minds in real time was the ultimate testament to what this community can be. And it's more than just, you know, getting up at each other's throats when a chapter doesn't go the way that you want it to. But yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. However, what is really important, guys, to note is this is our last stream before Christmas. This is our last stream before Christmas, guys. Which is why I wanted to make it very clear that I'm grateful for you guys. And then next week is our last stream of the year, guys. We've got one more. And I'll tell you what, guys, we are not fucking finishing. We are not finishing this year without the Space Globalist arc retold. I am putting in overtime work on this shit, guys. I've been working tirelessly to get this thing done is going to be 3 hours, 3 fucking hours long, guys. 3 hours. Most likely. We'll see if there's a bit of disparity one way or the other. I'm aiming it for the weekend. All right? Either Saturday or Sunday. I don't know which yet. But goddamn, guys, Space Globalist Retold is happening. Okay? It's happening. My gift to you. We are not finishing this year without this. I'm taking Christmas off, but every other day I'm working on it. I'm so fucking close to being done. I'm so close to being done. I'm in like the last fucking leg of it. Right? Like I've got 2+ hours done. Right? And the rest of it is just a bit more. Just need to push a bit more. And I'm going overtime this week. All right. I'm hoping Sunday will be. I've got the thumbnail done. That's one of the hard parts, right? I've got the thumbnail done. But I'm excited to get it done, guys. I'm excited to do this. Get your snacks and shit ready, all right? Because we're gonna be going through it. We're gonna be going through it because as of tomorrow is the day last year that I would have released the first Retold video. So the Cursed House arc Retold came out on the 23rd of December last year. So we've almost been doing the Retolds for a year now. Finishing off this year with that would be really nice. We were the word, I'm really excited for it, guys. But you'll hear more about that later in the week. If you want to be on top of all of that stuff, join my Discord, Patreon link in the description to join as a free member to get access to the Discord, guys. In other news, I got a bunch of shit. From YouTube, and I'm thinking of just finishing up the stream in just a minute. Just because it's almost Christmas. I'm sure everybody's got things to be doing. But I got a bunch of shit from YouTube, so I thought I'd just show you guys it if you want. If not, it's been nice seeing you. Anyway, let's have a little looky poo, alright? Let's have a little looky poo just to end this. I got a YouTube Shorts mug. I don't know why it's YouTube Shorts specifically, because I don't really make YouTube Shorts. Oh fuck, I didn't do the pomade. That's a really good point. No, you did not miss it. I just missed it. Alright, guys. No, this is really important. This is more important, actually, than any of the other stuff, alright? Nobody warned me. Honestly, anybody... Anyway, what's really important, guys, is, number one, actually, before we do anything else, before we even do the pomade, guys, I want to just express how excellent, how neato burrito it's been to see so many people respond so positively to the Christmas jumper merchandise. Safety's on Rookie. The Safety's on Rookie Christmas collection. And by collection, I mean there's just one thing. Look at that. That is for the people who are on the the higher tiers, I hand made the lettering on the back to match their name. I mean, I'm pretty much done with that now, but been a really good response to it. I'm really pleased to see so many people respond so positively to it and want their own. It's been very cool to do that, but also the majority of those people being the people on my higher tier Patreon. And it's obviously been quite a year, but the reason that I can work on a video that's as long as The Space Globalist Retold is not because of the ad revenue or anything like that. It's probably not going to get hundreds of thousands of views. It's all down to the fact that there are people who are supporting me on the Patreon, on YouTube, on YouTube as well. So I just want to take a second to shout out the Yokai Power tier users. That's the highest tier on my Patreon and on my YouTube members. So that's Angle, Blissy Cat, Christmas Plague. We got a Christmas thing going on at the moment. Danny, Evil Queen Sarah. She's the evil queen right now. Fifth Gram. What used to be Jersey, but now it's just Jury. Old Toaster, Orbis, SOR Jules, SOR Worm, I don't know. Safety's on Rookie, I presume. Serpo El Clasico, SOR Support Edition. So stupid. What are these names? Vampy Xmas Sylvie, Your Favorite Scented Candle, Zero, and Tim Kai. And I'm not saying Grobe Weihnacht Gurk. Grow, I don't know, Pickle. His name's Pickle. Alright, we call him Pickle around here. But you guys genuinely are the reason that I'm able to make things in the capacity that I do. So thank you. So thank you. Did I say it wrong, Pickle? Anyway, I got a YouTube Shorts mug. Now, this is quite nice, right? I do like that it's black and red. I don't... Gross Weenaxgurk. Alright, I'll give it another shot next week. It's nice, you know. Does it have anything on the Safeties on Rookie mug collection? I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that. I do like the matte finish, to be honest. I do quite like the matte finish, but does it have anything on the Safeties on Rookie mug collection? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Yes, you actually should send me a voice note saying it in German. Yes, please. My backpack. Hell no. So that's the mug. Again, YouTube Shorts. I don't know about that one, Chief. I got a little beanie. I got a beanie. I don't even wear shorts. Yeah, no. That also says YouTube Shorts. I'm never going to be wearing that. I'm not going to wear that just because of that. But you know, it's nice. It feels nice. You know, feels nice. That's a little box. A little pin. Little pin. You know, that's cute. That's cute as shit. Little YouTube pin. I mean, it's pretty cool to get this stuff. It's because I was enrolled in some. It's because I was enrolled in some YouTube thing. I don't remember what it was. It was like an initiative, some kind of live and shorts thing. Basically, there are a bunch of different features that YouTube is trying to push its creators to use, I think. One of them being the lives, which I was already doing, which is why I qualified for this, because the lives were popping off earlier in the year. I think that's what qualified me for such a high tier, the level 3 tier. Shorts, I did not do. And then also content that's closed off to members only. Now, the members only stuff is maybe something I could see myself using in the future, but not for anything that's like... Not for anything that's like content, if you know what I mean. Like maybe a Q&A there, or uploading cut stuff that doesn't make the final cut of the video. That kind of stuff I could possibly see using member-only videos for. I don't really know at the moment. It's not something that I want to explore at the moment, but future tense. Bloopers, yeah, something like that. Hoops, something like that. Stuff that would not would not exist if it wasn't for the fact that I had people supporting the channel. But this would also be accessible through Patreon and things like that. So I don't know. It's something worth considering. Dinner streams. Oh yeah, fucking ridiculous. No, don't bring up the dinner streams just for Jersey or Jerry. A pen and a notebook for not making notes in. Janny would love this. Janny would love this, let me tell you. I got this brick puzzle. I'm actually going to make this. That looks fun. That looks fun. Yeah. So I'll probably make that at some point, and then I'll pop it behind there. And then the thing that you're all, no doubt, really interested in is the backpack. It's pretty cute. It's got Safety Zone Rookie on it. That's kind of sick, actually. That it's got my name on it. It's quite nice as well. It's a laptop bag. It's nice. Very nice. It's cool. It's cool. They accidentally sent me two. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, no one else is going to be able to use the backpack anyway. It says Safety Zone Rookie on it. They're going to scratch it off. Then it's just the congratulations on making elite status. Nice. You hear that? You hear that? Yeah, I know. I'm an influencer now. Where are my brand deals? Guys, where are my brand deals? What the fuck? Guys, where are my brand deals? God damn it. McDonald's, where are you? Come on, I'm ready to sell out here, man. I saw a fucking ad earlier. I saw an ad earlier for a company in the UK. And they were using influencers. And I was just kind of like, right, okay. What about me? I have 7,000 subscribers. Because I don't use TikTok. You know, the kids, they're all using their TikToks. They're all using their TikToks and stuff now. Yeah, that's it. I'm too influential. That's the problem. That's the issue. I also got this sent through as well. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, though. Yeah, I know. Where's my... I've been waiting for that NordVPN sponsorship for, like, 10 years. I also got this. I don't know what to do with it, though. Because it's like... I don't really want to hang that up, you know? It's neat, though. 20 years. Did you know that? 20 years of YouTube? Apparently. I'm not hanging it up, but, like, you know... Crazy. But here we are. Here we are. So that's that stuff. That was fun though. That's fun. Like, it's nice of them to send it for sure. You know, fan mail from YouTube. You know, honestly, they didn't get up on the wall though. They didn't get up on the wall like the existing stuff. You know, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. But yeah. So to clarify, before I go here, so I'm gonna go. To clarify, Space Globalist Arc retold December this month. Yeah, YouTube, they're obsessed with me. They keep calling and I'm just like, give me some space, please. Give me some space. You know, it's not all about YouTube. Sometimes it's got to be about me tube. You know what I mean? So stupid. That's a stupid thing to say. Anyway, so ideally this weekend, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Shouldn't have broken eye contact with them. Yeah, well, I know. Tell me about it. I know. And then next week in the new year, is it the new year next week? Yeah, so next week leading into the new year, I'm gonna do some gaming. I won't burn out, I don't think. Maybe I'll be exhausted by the end of this project for sure, but I've got it. I'm motivated, you know? I'm motivated. It's been a tough ride because I've been so fucking sick over the past month. I've still got a bit of it. I'm probably gonna have to go to the doctor or something when Christmas is done. But yeah, I've been so like you can hear a bit of it in the recordings, I think. But it is what it is, you know. Like it's part of the way it is. But it doesn't sound like bad or anything. I'm happy with the quality, or else I wouldn't be doing it. But anyway, guys, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an excellent experience. I look forward to our final stream of the year, guys. Next week, yes, Outer Wilds. I've also got some Metal Gear Solid 3 lined up next week. That's my reward. That's my reward for finishing this project. Is I get to play Metal Gear Solid 3 on Twitch with you guys. All right, that's the reward. So fucking get that lined up. Get that lined up in your schedule. All right. Cool. Right. All right, guys. On that note, I am going to leave. Oh wait, before I leave. How cute is this? How cute is this? Isn't it cute? Isn't that cute? Every time that you guys are like here, I just want to show you around my stuff. I was like, this is my new thing. This is my new thing. It's next to my golden ball, and it's next to my Dandadan stuff, and my copy of Spy Kids 3D is back there as well. You know, all of my Dandadan shrine. Aww. You know, maybe that's something to do a members only video for one day, is to take you through my fucking shrine. Yeah. It's mine now. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad. Do you also like my Star Trek The Next Generation full Blu-ray box set? Yes, I thought you might. Yeah, of course I'm excited to show off my stuff. It's neat. I just think it's neat. Look, we've got 2 Momos. I might even have more silly stuff up there by the end of this. Yeah, that's the Persona 5 Phantom Thieves edition. That's the Persona 5 Royal Phantom Thieves edition. I got this with it. It's too big for my face. Something desperately not right about Joker's general face structure, because my eyes do not align with that. I ain't a Funko Pops kind of guy. Anyway, I've also got my sword around there as well, but probably best not. Hey, I already sliced open my finger on cardboard earlier, so I think it's a no-go. Anyway, right, okay, you know what? I'm leaving now. I've got shit to do, and bye-bye. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.